All right, so welcome to the soul contract reading pre-intro webinar. Just talk about the training. So I'm Nicholas David Nan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension, broadcasting from Wellington, New Zealand at the moment, actually, rather than England. So seeing there's a small number of you, what I'd actually like to do is just hear from each of you what brought you to the webinar and what you're interested is in the soul contract reading training, and just basically what you'd like from us, because there's only a small number. We can actually tailor it depending on whether you read the book, what you want to do with this work. So if you're open to that, it'd be great to have that input rather than just the one-to-many sort of transmission, which is not as interesting. And if you can just type in the chat what you'd like from us as well. Okay, so maybe we'll start with you, Sonia, because I can see you. Say where you are, and what brought you here, etc., and then we can get into this.
Okay, I'm in Montreal, Canada, and what brought me here is, I think I saw you, and I'm not sure if it was Gaiam. About maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and maybe even further, and you were actually talking about being in an ambulance, I think, and you had the out-of-body experience, and you were following the ambulance, and your wife was with you, and you, I think that was the story you were telling. I can't really remember. And I've had quite a few crazy spiritual experiences, I guess you would say, and so I felt I could really hear what you were saying, and I felt connected to you. I felt that you were very authentic, and I was very interested. So I just watched everything that you had, and whenever I could see you, I would follow you. And I didn't know that you had a book. I think I watched something else on Gaiam about you, and then you had a book, so I went and bought the book. And then I went on your website, saw that there was a course, and got interested. And I'm halfway through the book, and and I printed my chart. I wanted to do the last course, but it was so crazy. And even today, my boss called a meeting for the exact time of this course, and I said, no way, this time I was not going to miss it. And I postponed his meeting, whereas the last one I wasn't able to. And I thought it was very interesting how the universe threw another meeting in my way. And I just ran out of the office and just came straight here to listen. And I'm very interested in what to do with the work. I'm not quite sure. I do want to. I'm writing a book on some of the spiritual experiences that I've had, hoping that'll make a difference for people and just give them peace from maybe connecting to the experiences. But also I wanted to possibly create a space where if people are coming to me, I don't like, this is a tool that I think that I could also incorporate into actually, like you had put, you'll understand the client and you'll understand what their challenges are, and it'll give you a faster into being able to focus on what their issues are and cut time. And so basically it's just to help people and bring them to they can bring themselves to a place of peace. So just whatever there is available to help people. So I'm interested.
Okay, got it. Thank you for being such an enthusiastic fan. Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing the Gaia shows. So there's another one coming out sometime in spring. We film one in October on taking the soul contract work out into business.
Oh, very cool.
How to align people to their natural flow in their jobs so that it's more satisfying for them, both for spiritual entrepreneurs like you, but also for more the corporate world as well, trying to change the world from the top down rather than the bottom up, which is what most of us tend to do. So keep an eye out for that. I'm not sure when it's out yet. They haven't told me. So
okay, very cool. Thank you.
Trying to go a bit further with this. Tina, Tina can't speak because she's in a public place, but she said here, what did she say here? Alison said here, sorry. Tina, if you want to type in the chat why what's brought you here, then I can read that out as well to everybody. But Alison has said, I have read the book, did my own reading. It activated me big time, and she wants to use it with her private coaching clients. That's what she said here. So thank you, Alison. So I'll wait for you to type me something, Tina. And Carolyn, okay, do you want to just tell us what brought you here?
Yeah, I'm sorry about the video. I'll try and sort that out for next time. But yes, someone told me about the book.
You have to get closer to the laptop because the sound's breaking up a bit, and speak a bit more slowly. Yeah.
I read your book,
and
it just fascinated me, and I thought this would be a good tool to use with my clients. So I came to see you, got my reading, which was very insightful, and decided to sort of look into it more. That's really all there is to it.
Okay, thank you. And where are you, Carolyn? Where are you, Carolyn?
London.
London. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Hi, Maya. Let's have a look here. Tina's just responded to me. She said she can't speak in a public place, but said, I've read the book. I've pulled together a few charts as gifts for others and found it highly informative. Okay. Thank you, Tina. Where actually are you, Tina? Just let us know where you are as well. Okay. Maya, thanks for coming on video. So I'll unmute you so you can actually talk if you're up for that. Maybe if you'd like to let us know where you are, Maya, and what brought you here, just to sort of set the energy.
Yes, I'm in London,
yeah,
and I have been on a couple of courses run by Almira.
Yeah,
and then she told me about that you're running also the courses on a soul contract. So I just wanted to understand a little bit more, you know, the way you're going to teach it, etc.
Okay, thank you. All right. And then now Tina said here that she's actually at work in St. Louis, Montana. I think it's Montana. Okay. All right. And we also have one more person. Let's see who else is here. John. John, do you want to introduce yourself? Only if you want to, or just put it on chat if you don't want to. So we set the energy. Yeah. Okay, I'm not hearing from John, but I've unmuted John anyway. We'll continue. So, all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show a little presentation and talk as I go. I'm making a video of this for you guys as well. So I'm going to share my screen and then just get up the presentation here. Here it is. So what you'll see is that you'll see this, our faces on the right, okay, but you can see the presentation as well, okay. All right, so I'll start at the beginning here. Let me get a little pen out here. So if you could go on mute on the bottom left when you're not talking, otherwise we get feedback. It's everybody. And when you do speak, then just switch on the microphone, okay?
I'm not sure what that is on the iPad.
It's somewhere there. I'll mute you, Sonia. I'm not sure where it is on iPad. So if you want to talk to me and you can't unmute it, just wave at me, okay? If I can see you, then I'll unmute you. So the soul contract reading work is all about empowering spiritual seekers like you, those of us who are looking for the real meaning of life, to manifest your soul purpose. And it's sort of designed to meet that deep urge we have to really connect with what our soul's here to do. That's the purpose of this work. And sort of get into how did I get into this? So I was born in New Zealand. I'm just visiting the family at the moment here for a couple of weeks, and I always felt from a very young age that it's got to be more to life than what people have been telling me. And I was always searching for the real truth of what really makes this world tick. I had a feeling that someone wasn't telling me something very important. And so as a result, I went on a spiritual journey in my 20s, and part of that journey was traveling around Asia and then looking at different ways of living and spirituality. And I eventually ended up in Arizona. I've been on the road a couple of years. And that's where I met Frank Alpa, who was the creator of this work, the soul contract reading work. In those days, it was called the Spiritual Numerology of Moses. And so I was drawn to a workshop, a week-long workshop he used to run called the Carousel of Growth. And when I walked into the space of that workshop, there were 30 people there, and I realized I knew most of them. They felt very familiar. And as part of that process there, what happened was that I had a soul contract reading with him, and I went into this hotel room, and he took out the Star of David. We're using this work, and he asked me for my birth name, and then he proceeded to decode that name and explain my entire life, which up to that stage had been a real mystery. I just felt I'd been doing a whole bunch of random things, and none of it fitted together. And I was really looking for some answers, because the conventional answers that were offered by life and society didn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. And so this work, well, that 1 hour reading changed my life entirely, because he explained I was here to be a teacher and a writer and to help awaken and empower people. And I followed that advice very carefully ever since then. And I thought it was so powerful. I said to him that, well, how do I learn how to do this? And then he said, well, in 6 weeks' time, we're running the workshop. And I just turned up in America, never been there before, and I was so drawn to the first workshop. So I thought, oh, well, we'll stay in America another 6 weeks. I was due to go to England, and I learned how to do this work. And this is how it all started. And then I took it to England, and I started delivering readings for this work in London for part-time. And then what happened was that I did a corporate job for about 7 years, sitting in a glass box in the city in London. And then one day there was a cloud shaped like an angel, about 200 foot long, the only cloud on a blue sky day that flew past my window, and it seemed to be looking at me, and that was sort of my wake-up call. And I decided to leave that job eventually and do what I'm doing now, which is taking this work out to the world to find spiritual seekers like you guys. And we as spiritual seekers initially go to sleep to find out what it's like to be human. And we go into the unconsciousness of this human embodied experience here. And as we awaken spiritually, we feel a strong need to really connect with and manifest our soul purpose. It's the bit where someone hadn't told me what I was meant to be doing. And then we seek out the tools and knowledge to awaken this purpose. It's sort of programmed into us very deeply. And prepared to do whatever it takes to achieve this, because it's something much more important than just following the material sort of goals that we're sort of brainwashed with us in this reality. And so this work is about reaching spiritual seekers to show them what their purpose is and how to actually get there. And so, in taking an interest in learning this work, what this allows you to do is to answer that search. There's about 300 or 400 million light workers or spiritual seekers on Earth who are trying to wake up and come online. God, Great Spirit, sends many of us to help awaken humanity and create unity consciousness. And so training to be a soul contract reader is really enables you to decode the blueprint of life for spiritual seekers, which is hidden in their name. All of you, I looked at the book and things like that, which creates a reality in each moment. And because this work comes out of the fundamental sounds of someone's name, which are matched to the sounds of Hebrew, which are the sounds of creator creating, sacred language, it comes out of the movement of great spiritual God in the spiritual sense. As it moved to create creation, it's very powerful and very deep, this work. That spiritual map of life, which is the one I got from Frank in that hour in 1990 in Phoenix, it basically switches on the lights for people. I mean, most people are driving around in the dark, really have no idea what's going on, and life's pretty challenging when it happens. And so by giving them the spiritual map of life, because they ask you that question, why am I here, Maya? They will ask you. When someone asks that, and you deliver this work, basically they're ready to hear the answer. Until that point, they're not. It enables them to overcome their karma, their challenges, express more of their talents, achieve their goals, overall manifest their soul life purpose, and to save a huge amount of time and energy and where they no longer do the things which don't work in life. Most people are experiencing life through trial and error. This gets us very focused. It gets them very focused on what really does matter. So we use the Star of David here. So, we're also recording this for others who can't make the time of the video, so I'll sort of explain how it works. So essentially there are 7 aspects to each human's experience here. And we initially come in, our soul embodies, it chooses a name, and the vibrations of that name, decoded using ancient Hebrew, will explain exactly what our soul's design, brought in for us to create. Because the sound of our name is programmed into our DNA and our energy fields and into what we call karmic matrix, which is a great cobweb energy that sits in our energy fields and our high-dimensional bodies, and it's radiating out to reality, to the matrix, why we're actually here. The matrix rearranges around that, and there's 7 aspects of that. And so there's 2 large triangles. There's a large downward pointing triangle, a large upward pointing triangle, which is a spiritual triangle. This is a physical triangle at the bottom. And we as personalities we're all brand new experiments in consciousness. We've never existed before as a personality, but our soul has been here many times before. And so our soul sets up, it's like an operating system, it sets up a personality which has to be molded and grown. And so the physical triangle is our initial interface, how we learn to work with the world, how we learn to walk and talk, get conditioned responses, education, relationships. We get out in the world. Life seems sort of normal for a while, and how many of you guys had the midlife crisis where you really questioned everything you've been doing and were searching for the answer? Well, what's important? Put your hand up if I can see you there. Maya and Sonia, have you had the midlife crisis or the massive questioning of why you're here? Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah. So that's when the spiritual triangle starts to come online. And that's where our soul is moving us away from the foundation that's been created by the physical part of our chart, the more spiritual orientation. It's trying to bring online our real mission. It's trying to establish that on the foundation of the physical part of life here. So that's when we search for what's really important. I left my corporate job in this phase. I was making the switch from the physical to the spiritual triangle. It normally happens between 35 and 42, and it happened when I was 37. And so it's where we really want to bring our true mission online. It's where we really want to let go. The old life, it doesn't seem important anymore. And where we question relationships, question jobs, everything. Within this large, with each large triangle, with these three aspects, is karma, talents, and goals. By karma, we mean a set of unresolved issues, usually from past lives, that the soul brings in to challenge us, so that hoping that we'll engage with it and transmute this karma. And out of the karmic challenges comes the gifts we're here to deliver in life. Most people turn away from their gifts, and as a result of that, life gets harder because they're not going with the natural flow. The idea is to turn into the difficult stuff we face, transmute it layer by layer, then that becomes our gift of service here on earth. So the very place people are avoiding is the place where you actually need to go. It takes quite a bit of consciousness and drive to actually do that, and the right tools. You need to at least know what you're creating. So the purpose of this work is to show people, well, here's where the gifts lie, and here's how you claim them. Here's how you transmute the karma. So it's the law of opposites. We initially always get what we don't want in life. All right, so talents here we have in life are latent, and this is actually what we use to transmute the karma. And as we transmute the karma, the talents get stronger. Okay? And then what happens is that we then move to physical goals here. Okay? And the physical goals are like the underlying drive we have in life, what excites us, what gets us out of bed in the morning. Okay? So the energy flows from physical karma to physical talents to physical goals. This physical outer world orientation. And then we have the spiritual karma, which is starting to give us the answer for what our real purpose is here. And as we transmute our spiritual karma, that opens our consciousness to the higher self, the higher awareness of what we're here to do, and that starts to embody and express through us and starts to manifest our real purpose. We have become that spiritual karma by bringing online these latent spiritual talents. And as the talents get stronger by overcoming the karma, then what happens is that we actually get to the spiritual goals. Life gets a lot more satisfying when we're getting that running as well. Okay? So the energy flows from spiritual karma to spiritual talents to spiritual goals. So if we consciously work on all 6 aspects by understanding our soul contract, what happens then as we work them through is we start to get access to our soul destiny or life purpose, which the soul gradually reveals as we progress on our spiritual path. There's no sort of one answer that's suddenly provided to us at one stage. It's just, here's the next piece for you, and here's the next piece. And if you consciously work through all 6 outer aspects, this fully reveals itself through your lifetime. And when we're flowing on that, in that alignment, that's where life gets very satisfying. It allows us to really move into the flow, what we call the spiritual signature. And the spiritual signature is in each moment, there's one right action we're here to take. As we take that action, life opens and flows for us. Okay, so, and if we take each right action in each now moment, as we do that, the next right action turns up, and then our life moves and opens in quite remarkable ways. In the West, we're very programmed to be in the left brain to try and figure everything out, analyze it all, be very scientific and have it all planned out. But actually, when we're following the flow of spirit, what happens is something quite different. Another chart here. On the right chart here. So, here it is. What actually happens is that normally this is following the left brain, what we think we should be doing. following the path of the ego, path of suffering. And when we follow and flow with our soul contract, we start following what's called the spiritual signature, which is this dark line here. And that's where life opens and flows. And what actually happens is that we start to converge gradually as we understand and feel what we're here to do from the soul contract. Also, as our heart opens, we start to flow and converge. And this is where you're flowing on the path of bliss. This is where, in each moment, the next thing happens, which is meant to happen. And so when we follow that flow, everything opens for us gradually as we get clearer. So we move from, as we awaken, from following the little ego here to actually expanding to the vastness of higher consciousness here. And that's what this work actually does. If you're, as a practitioner, holding the space for a client, by showing them first what is their path, the soul contract work, and then applying your healing technologies, whatever you actually use to help clients grow, coaching, healing, and any other tools you have. As you apply those in a very targeted way, because you know what is in their soul contract, okay, they will start to converge, and then their consciousness will expand, and their life will completely change. Okay. So that's the purpose of this work. And what happens is that the soul contract work acts as an overall map for working with people. And then, because they know what they should be doing, they're much more likely to get on with it. Right? And as you're applying your own tools with that, their use will be very targeted. Will be much more effective because you know where they are. You know where they are in their contract, and as you apply the tools at the appropriate moment, they make more progression. They create more convergence here onto their spiritual signature. So, up to the next chart here. All right, so does anyone want some clarity on their own chart while we're at this? Sonia? Yes, Sonia. Okay, so let's turn on the sound here. Yes, Sonia. So, Sonia, what's your birth certificate name?
Sonia, Lisa, Sophia, Sophia, Fernandez. Oh, I think it's, wait, you know what? Hang on a second. I have my chart. I just don't remember how she spelled Sophia because I didn't write it down here.
So are you fully Spanish or Hispanic or part or?
My mother's Austrian. I have my chart. Do you want to hang on? I'll get my birth. You want to give me 1 second?
Yeah, you can get the actual names there.
Yeah. Sorry for keeping you. You would think I would know this.
Okay, so you've got the correct spelling there?
Yeah, I think so.
Who gave you the reading?
I did. I plugged it in. I plugged it into your
Software.
Your software. I just don't remember if it's with an F or a PH.
Okay, so.
Do you want me to just tell you what my numbers are?
No, it's easy if you just tell me the names. I can show it on the software here.
Okay. It's not on my passport, so I have to go upstairs. Hang on.
So you don't have your birth certificate name there?
Not right now. I can get it though.
So what's actually your birth name? Just tell me what it is.
Sonia Lisa Sofia Fernandez, Fernandes. But it might be Sophia with just an FI. I'm not sure.
We can check it here. So.
But I have all my numbers.
Are they correct, the numbers?
Yes.
Okay. We can just try it here. So
Okay.
Find out.
Well, you have me in your software because I did put it into your software.
Yeah, but I don't have access to that file because it's on your account, you see. So
I see.
yeah, what's your birthday? Oh, and I'll leave the birth date out.
You can put it.
Well, no, this will be seen by other people, so just for your own sort of security, really. We won't put that in there. Okay, so yeah. We'll just test it. We'll soon find out which is correct. So. Okay. So that's actually how it's spelled on the birth certificate, yeah?
I'm not sure. It's either S-O-F-I-A or S-O-P-H-I. I'm not sure how she spells Sophia.
Yeah. Is your mother Hispanic or?
It's Austrian.
She's Austrian. Okay, it's probably where they. What about your father?
From Bombay.
Or from Bombay?
Yep.
So you're half Indian?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just find out.
No, that's not it. So it's Sophia with a P. That's not it because I'm all nines. That's not my chart.
What about this one here?
Yeah, 9969. Yeah, the very last one, the normal one. Yeah, the third one.
Yeah, that's yours. Okay.
That's me.
All right. So let's just talk about this briefly. So.
Sorry for all that.
Okay. All right. So, do you have a key question about your life, Sonia? So I'll just focus on answering that.
A key question about my life.
Yeah, at this moment, what's the big question about your life?
I'm faced with two issues. One is I used to say I would never leave my work unless I really was unhappy there. I've been there for 28 years. And all of a sudden last year, everything shifted after 27 years completely. And I went from being the happiest person for 27 years to now dying to get out of there. So, and I'm doing very well, incredibly well. So it has nothing to do with not doing well. It's just, do I need to do something else in my life? And then the other one is being with my soulmate. Am I with the right person or not? Okay.
Let's answer the work one. For the soulmate, we actually need to look at his chart or her chart. We don't have time for that. So can I ask what sort of work you do so I get some context here?
Yep, I'm a account executive for a worldwide international electronic components distributor.
Okay. All right, so with your chart here, let's go, what we'll do is that we'll go to the Star of David. Now we know which is your correct chart. We'll go into this one here. All right. So this is just for the benefit of people who haven't seen this before. What we've done is we've converted your name into phonetic Hebrew sounds here. And out of those Hebrew sounds, we get the Hebrew numbers. Okay, because in Hebrew, numbers and letters are the same energy. And we use 22 of the Hebrew letters. I'll just put you on mute. Actually, no, we should be okay, Sonia. And so then we decode these using the Star of David. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put you on mute while I'm talking until we need to talk again, okay? Yep. I'm getting a bit of background noise. And so what we do is that we allocate these numbers around the Star of David, like this. Start with the 15, we place it here. We place the first 6 numbers around the Star of David like this. And then we keep going through all these numbers till we go round and round and round to use up all the numbers. And then what we do is that we add the numbers up. So in physical karma, lessons in the physical world, we get a total of 36 by adding the numbers up. And because we only have 22 letters, that has no actual meaning. So we need to reduce it to the first number between 1 and 22. So we get 3 plus 6 equals 9. So we get the left-hand number. And then we need to get the right-hand number. So we work out, can we reduce this any further? And we can't. So we just get 9 plus nothing equals another 9, which gives us a 9. We'll put a 9, 9 like this. That goes here. That's how we get these numbers. We work all the other numbers out here accordingly in the same way. Okay. And then what we do is we take physical numbers, place them on the top half of the table here, the spiritual numbers on the bottom half, and then we add the two columns up. We get 45 and 45 there. And then we reduce that to the first number between 1 and 22, so 4 plus 5 is 9, 4 plus 5 is 9. So that's the soul destiny which goes in the middle of the chart here. And these little squiggly symbols are channel symbols that Frank Harper brought through, which basically are going to tell me what I need to tell you. Yes, Sonia. So, okay, so can I ask Sonia, how old are you now? So I'm trying to get the cycles of 7 years out of the system here. Hang on, I'll unmute you. Okay.
I'm 51.
Okay. So you're at the beginning of the 8th cycle of 7 years. Okay, here. When did you wake up spiritually?
29:30.
Okay. So that was at the beginning, or the 5th cycle of life, in the 7-year cycle we use here. I mean, this chart here is basically saying that your whole life is about learning to come into your power.
Mm-hmm.
How's that been, coming into your power?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I can see how I am in it, and then the next level comes, I get dreams, and most of my life I have dreams of bridges and going to the top, and then I'm being scared to death of heights and bridges. And whenever I have those dreams, I know now that something's coming, and I get scared to death. So yeah, I'm in my power, I'm out of my power. I'm in my power, I'm out of my power. So it's interesting.
Yeah, because power's the main issue, and in the chart here, your talents are the 9s here, so that means that's going to overcome the issue of coming into your power here. You're here to learn to get focused on what's important for you, and to get frustrated.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, you have too many things on, too scattered.
Yeah, and I try to eliminate them so that doesn't happen. So when I eliminate them, I feel so much better. And
yeah, you've got to get down to the one important thing to do, which is
right.
Probably what you're going to do outside this job.
Right.
Okay, because your soul will throw lots of different ideas at you, but you've got to get down to this one. Okay, you'll be scattered, but you're going to get down to the one key idea, focus on it from here, and work out little manageable steps of success to get to your goal, which I think is all probably sovereignty and autonomy and doing your own thing.
Uh-huh.
By the sounds of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And take it one step at a time. And the biggest issue which you'll face in terms of creating whatever you're meant to do is that unless your ego is guaranteed success, it won't take the great leap forward in terms of moving out of this job and moving into what's important for you.
Right.
Okay, so you've got to do it one step at a time and stay focused until you finish it. And not get scattered around about here, because the ego will give you lots of other ideas. So you've got to be ruthlessly focused. Okay. Not disregard anyone else along the way because there's a drive to get it done. Okay. How does that sound?
Yeah, it sounds right on.
Yeah. So,
What does it
see,
mean to have so many nines?
it means the issue you're processing in this life is the past life misuse of power by the soul, where you've had temptations to misuse power, and you took them, and you've misused, or your soul with another personality, or multiple different personalities and multiple lives, has misused power. You, Sonia, are brand new this time. You just decided, okay, I'm going to sort this out. Okay, right. So you're not responsible for anything the soul did in the past, okay, because you weren't there. But your job is to transmute all the experiences of the misuse of power in the past, to transmute that into positive use of power to catalyze change in others. Okay? So you're a massive catalyst. You're here to really wake people up who really want to wake up. There's all these nines. It's like a big, powerful dragon out in the world, setting its flames out to wake people up. Okay? You find you set people off emotionally just by walking in the room?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're already pressing on their issues by having all these nines here, especially in the karmic positions. Okay. Okay, so you're here to work with people who seriously want to wake up. Okay, in your coaching business, you're not here to work with beginners. You're here to work with people who really want to wake up, who can handle the heat of powerful catalytic awakening. That's actually what you're meant to do on Earth. And you're meant to do it in a pioneering way, which is what this 5 is about. You're here to work with cutting-edge spiritual technologies, working with the absolute truth. Okay. For example, this work is very powerful truth. It comes out of the frequencies of Great Spirit. So they wake up, and you're here to work on the cutting edge with it. And you're here to heal your heart and do it with an open heart. And to really work with people. Actually, really here to work with groups of people with an open heart so they can awaken. That's the mission. And there's 4 sets of 9s here, which is very unusual. Okay. So you've got to pace the way you do this, as you'll burn out, because which you may have been facing previously. Too much energy running, but it's about managing it and grounding it so people can you can cope with it and other people can cope with it without falling over. Does that sound like you?
I missed your last sentence.
It's about grounding this powerful energy, these 9 dragon energy that you have in the soul, so that you can actually manage it and use it sustainably, so you don't burn out and people around you don't burn out.
Right.
Does that sound like you?
Yeah, but it also sounds like there's not that many people I can talk to.
Yeah, well, that happens when you have a lot of power like this. So you look at a normal distribution. This is the population here of spiritual people, or everybody, and the spiritual seekers are sitting up this end. Okay, there's a consciousness. You're here to work with the guys up this end here, who really want to wake up, who are prepared to really do the work. You're not here to work with beginners because you're too strong. Every light worker has a particular niche of people they work with. When I work with guys like you who really want to make a difference, I don't work with beginners either, because it would be too slow for you working with beginners. You'd be bored. You want people who say, okay, Sonia, I'm ready to go. I've done 5 years of work already. Give me the rest. Whatever it takes, I'll do it. That's the sort of people you're to work with.
Okay.
And then you can relax and just be yourself, because I'd say you don't like holding back who you truly are. It's hard work for you. Yeah. Okay. So I would say this is about creating. Are you doing your coaching business part-time?
I'm not even doing a business. It's just friends, people, whoever needs help. They seem to be coming, and I just sit and listen and I work with them, but I don't charge anybody anything because I do this other job. So that's part of, I guess, not coming into my power is I just do everything for everybody like that.
Yeah. So I would say that it's about creating. I'd say for you, you'll get to a point where you can know where your truth will be. I have to do my work. It's about truth, where you cannot stay in the corporate environment. no matter what financial common sense says, the soul will push you to the point where you just have to leave. That'll probably happen at some stage. You can probably feel it already.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, so you need to prepare for that and start creating this other business, which is following your truth, and doing it on the weekends, starting to charge people for it, getting your tools honed, and then starting to charge a bit for it so you can find out how it works. Okay, you're in the transition phase, and it's inevitable the way your chart is built, because your consciousness is ready. It's got high enough to actually go out and then start doing it and work out how to actually do this. Okay.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions on that? What I've just said, or just to give a feel for what's going on.
So I'm in the midst of writing a book, and I just does that fit into the chart here? Can you see that anywhere?
Yeah. Well, what the book is all about. What's the book about again?
It's about faith.
Okay. It's about
faith versus belief. So it's blind faith. So I had it's so this is about speaking your truth. I have a hard time saying this in public because I'm afraid of how it'll get heard. But I had direct communication with God and direct communication with the Holy Spirit, and I've had some very from some knowings come through, and so the book is about people knowing that there is a God, and not that they don't just have to believe it. I mean, I know that's hard unless you have the experience yourself, that you still have to believe it, but that there is one, and that we're not alone, and to bring peace to people. So, and then it's all about the experiences that I had and all the synchronicities, and showing them how God is in your life in every moment.
Okay. Tina's just said, Sonia, you were safe in this group with a smiley face, with a emoticon. So,
thank you.
So, okay, so it sounds like you want to speak the truth here, and the book, if you're going to create your own business, books are very good. It's very good so people can get a feel for who you are. It's very good for marketing, gives you authority. So you're here as a communicator of truth, and it's important not to hold back the truth. Say it as it is. I wrote my book. They pretty much let me write it as I wanted to do it. They just helped structure it. It was clear enough for people. But it's important you be authentic and be your true self. Otherwise, you won't be happy with yourself.
Right.
Okay, say as it is, because you're addressing these guys down here, not addressing the rest. Every light worker who comes online with this sort of work, or any sort of awakening work, has a specific, unique offering. It has to be from their heart, has to be authentic. They have a particularly unique niche amongst all the other light workers that I work with, people that are here to work with. It's about getting the two aligned. And when you're in the zone like that, it's much easier rather than trying to compromise and trying to reach everybody, which never works.
Right.
Go for the ones that you love working with. Then it won't be work anymore. It'll just be a joy. See? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. So, does anyone else have any questions about what we just covered there? No? Okay. I'm going to put you on mute, Sonia, for the background noise. I'm going to go back to the chart now. Just a minute. So, so basically you'll be taught on the training, just what we've just done here. You will learn how to deliver the spiritual map of life to your clients. So they get an immediate and profound understanding of their issues. They move out of the fuzziness of what they think is going on to actually what's really going on. What are the core soul drives, and it will guide you very accurately throughout all your work with them. And because they know it's true and you know it's true, it builds a lot of trust. Okay, so you can basically get on with the serious business of helping someone come online, because they won't be wasting time doing things which aren't working. Okay, and because that enormous truth is revealed, the trust builds very quickly. Okay, so you can engage someone within the first 5 minutes or 5 seconds of working with you with this, right? And basically, what you get is you can understand yourself and everyone else in your life based on this and work with them accordingly by flowing with their natural energy. And training will actually enable you to give good soul contract readings based on people's birth names. Because we spend the first 3 days in the training transmitting to you energetically what the 22 letters of Hebrew mean by giving readings. We have a manual, obviously. The book is based upon the manual. It's a detuned version of the manual. There's some stuff in the manual you can't put actually in a book because of some of the content is quite strong and what it explains what goes on for people. Basically, we give readings on your friends and family and correlate it to the manual of what's going on. And so using your friends and family, real people's lives, you actually get a transmission bodily. It activates in your DNA, this work, activates in your energy field. So you start to gradually become this work. Okay, it's not about a manual where you have to remember it all. You are activated and become it, and you're connected to soul contract guides and your team who will work with you in delivering this work. What you're actually doing is that you're holding space. You're learning to hold space, and you're connecting to the higher self of your clients. And the higher self is giving you a download with some help from their guides and your guides, and then to give a specific transmission of truth that client requires in that moment to awaken them to the next level of their experience. And we help you open your channel, your intuition, that flows through you. So you'll learn a lot of stuff, but in the end it's about just opening and awakening, opening and allowing, embodying the truth from the higher self of the client that wants to come through you. Okay? And because we spend 3 days of transmission, as you become it, it's not about trying to try or remember. It's actually about letting go and opening to the energy of the work. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay? And then the last 2 days of the course, we actually teach you how to hold space and deliver readings. Okay, so at 80-90% of the course is transmission and activation. And I talk to you for the 5 days because people pay their money, they expect to be talked to, but actually most of the course is transmission and sitting in the energy. And we find people can give readings, pretty good readings from the beginning. And you get to practice as well on each other. There's at least 2 practices. You practice on each other in the course, and you find out you find out how well you've actually been activated. So this is what we're talking about here. This is experiential learning, essentially, the way we do this, and it's awakening something which you actually already know at a soul level. All right, and as you actually deliver readings and practice giving them, what happens is it activates more on your fields, and after a while, you have all the energy of all the people you work with. They start to program what all the numbers are within you. So after a while, you understand what all the different numbers mean. And then every time you're in a new reading, you have maybe 25 readings where you've done someone with their 9s, for example, for you, Sonia. And you start connecting with your client and finding out what's going on. And then what happens is that you correlate. Say, okay, I have a feeling, you feel it, this person fits about here, and as you connect to the previous transmissions you've done, it's sort of like you're building energetic memory of what this is like. You then draw on that, and it comes to you of exactly what you should say to the client. Okay? So Tina's asking a question here. Are there some folks that this channeling intuitive opening simply does not work? Does it need to be part of your soul contract in order to be successful there? So Tina, if you're drawn to the work, it'll work. It always does. Okay, because if you're not meant to do this work, you don't come, or you don't even hear about it. But if you're attracted to it and drawn to it, it just happens. It's taken us 27 years to work out how this actually process works. But I'm just here to help you remember to do what you already know how to do. Okay, it's not like you're starting from scratch and you're drawn to this work at all. So it shouldn't be an issue. Okay. Yes, there may be some emotional issues, as about worthiness and issues of can I actually do this? That comes up sometimes, but that can be worked with as well. Okay. All right. And we support you if you're drawn to do this work. We have an ongoing Facebook support group. It's a secret group, so only practitioners are on it, where people ask questions. There's about 150 to 200 people on it, some very experienced. And so I will answer some of the questions. A lot of the experienced practitioners will answer the questions. And so basically you get supported in getting out there with the work. We do masterclasses on demand for this work, all the 3 levels of it. This is just the first level, the first class. Second level is about relationships, with loved ones and in general. The third one's the third transmission, how we use it in business. Okay, but actually there are 3 transmissions which fully activate you, but even with the first one you have an awful lot you can offer people. And then we have a thing called the Soul Contract Mentoring Program, which is a program I'm currently redesigning as I find time, where we look at specific issues on how you deliver this work, but also how you sort of run your business overall in getting it out there in the world. Okay. So our aim is to get you out there, to make a difference, to wake as many people up as possible. Okay. Okay. So what are your clients going to get from this? They're going to get a really deep feeling of peace when they hear the truth of their life, and a sense of relief that there's actually an order to what's going on for them. Most people are thinking, am I wasting my time? Have I done something badly wrong in getting out there with what I've got? And it helps people and empowers people who may have felt like victims in their life to actually take charge and step forward to live their life purpose, no matter where they are in their life. Okay, it gives people hope and actually practical tools for for their life to happen. Because many light workers are called to Earth, but only a very few actually get out there and make a difference, because it's very easy to get trapped in the human ego and the quagmire working through all our stuff. The aim of this work is to help people escape from that and find the most accurate way to, I say here, overcome their challenges. So we teach you how to give readings, but also teach you how to deliver the recommendations people need to move forward. And as they do that, they can start to align to their life purpose. Okay. And you really touch them very deeply. They can go deeper in their work with you rapidly. Okay. And you can build whatever other therapies you've got around this work as a framework, because every practitioner does this differently, and enables you to have a very clear map and to go deep, and they trust you because they know it's true, and so their transformation is a lot more rapid. And also you can open a deeper level of yourself, and you see the profound change you can deliver to people. I've been doing this for 27 years, and it still amazes me how much people change when they hear this truth. It's sort of like when we speak the truth to somebody in the appropriate way, what we teach you in the workshop, it sort of burns through many of the ego defenses, so that people can actually get to what the real truth is and actually get on with life, really. Yeah, I've said all this already. So it's an experiential training. You practice in the group. You got to practice on friends and family in the first month, at least afterwards, and then start working with people delivering readings, and that embeds and consolidates the transmission. What we found, people sort of sometimes feel, I've got to understand it all, Nicholas. It's not about that. It's actually, there's some component of that, but actually you just got to be in the energy and transmit it, and then you become it. That's the best way I can describe the work. Okay. So, are there any questions on that so far? Sonia, just switch your sound on. Yeah, go for it, man. Sounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so my question is, people who are using it now as practitioners, do they always tell their clients that this has been transmuted from Moses? Because I can just see some people who are not ready to hear that. Or do you just say, what's your birth chart name, and then use it like that? And what happens if they ask where it came from? Well, you tell them the truth, obviously, but not everybody's open to that.
Yeah, that's always an issue depending on their level of consciousness. So I teach you at the highest level in the training, but you can pitch it from, when I give these readings to CEOs of corporates who are sort of open to some alternative approach. So obviously I don't say it comes from the soul of Moses. So you can actually pitch it, and we teach you can pitch it in whatever way is appropriate for the client. So you can go from the whole story to basically just a numerology system. You don't go into any of the more esoteric components of it. And we teach you how to do that. You'll find a way with different people, different levels of consciousness. So you only share with them what they can handle.
Right.
Okay. But most people's left brain want to know how it came about. So if they've got you in the first place, it's a spiritual system of divination to understand why we're really here, created by the soul. And that may be all you say. Okay, and that's okay. The main thing is you satisfy the left brain, so it sort of basically satisfies it, so it'll let it go, so you can actually get on with the truth. Because once you get into the truth of it and they engage with it, they'll probably forget about the first question and say, okay, give me some more, Sonia. This is all true, but then it'll be at the end, well, what do I do with this? How do I action this to create a better life? So it just depends on the people you work with, how far you push it. And that just takes practice over time. We can help you with. Does that help?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else got any other questions? Maya, anyone like that? Or Carolyn? Maya?
No, I'm good. I discussed it, in detail with Almira, so I kind of get it, so it's fine. I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I would like to ask a question, if I may.
Yeah, go on, Caroline. Get closer to the laptop, otherwise the sound's breaking up. Get closer to the microphone.
Okay. Do you remember when we had our sitting?
Yeah.
And you gave me some numbers that you thought that would enhance my name.
Yeah.
So I played with those for about 2 days. Honestly, it was like a Rubik's Cube. It was quite interesting. But I finally came up with a name that worked out the 9s that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Strengthening my chart. And
yeah.
I had forgotten about the double numbers. So every name that I found that was suitable had an A at the end, which of course changes the my last name into AH.
Yeah.
Because we're working on sound here, it picks it up as the Kabbalistic what am I talking about? The sound of the AH, even though it's another part of my name, the second part. So I couldn't imagine that actually happened. So then I sort of adjusted it from an A to an I, and that worked. But I wonder why the AH had made such a difference.
Well, AH is an R sound. It's a combination letter in the system. So you actually have to. Did you do it on the software?
Well, initially I did the AH by obviously just mechanically. I tested it on the software, and of course it picks up the AH as a single letter, doesn't a sound.
That's correct.
So I then changed the A to an I, and then that worked. But I wasn't sure if maybe you would test it for me, please.
Yeah. Well, we need to do a proper name optimization process to check what you're doing. This is not. That could take a little while. Okay, this is not really the place to look at that here. We need to look at the whole sequence of what you're doing. But name optimization, we don't teach to level 2. That's the way of actually choosing the right name to burn through all your karmic and goal aspects and get consciously where you want to go in life.
Right.
So that's actually the purpose of name optimization. But we don't teach that in level 1. So
the second question here was my business name, my website name. It has a THE in it, you know, P. And again, you have the problem. It's TH on one side, and then it's HAE, HE on the other side. So I wondered what is it that it picks up? Is it the TH or the HE?
we have to, again, we'd have to look at that offline to see exactly what you're doing, because
But that's what I'm saying about the THE.
yeah, we can't really get into the specifics here, Carolyn, because that's actually that could take half an hour to look at that.
All right.
Okay, so it's more like questions about the training is what this is about here. Okay, and that's sort of something we handle at level 3, but you know, we'd have to do that offline to actually get a clear answer, because the business name is linked to the name you're called. It has to be an extension of you as well. So there's a lot of different elements to consider with that.
So Nicholas, can I ask a question?
Yeah, Maya.
You're talking about 3 levels so far?
Yeah, there's 3 levels of the work. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 5 days for level 1.
Yeah, 5 days where you learn to give birth chart readings on the birth name. Level 2 is where we look at how the impact of the different names you've used through time, or the clients use, and then the impact of different relationships like your children, friends, lovers, people you work with. We look at the whole constellation of the significant people in your life and how that helps you grow. Okay, and what
and that is for 5 days, right? And that is for 5 days.
That's 4 days.
4 days, okay.
Yeah. Then the level 3 is the 3rd transmission to fully activate the work. Okay. You're pretty activated with level 1 and 2, but it gets to the point where level 3 is people say, I don't need the manual anymore, because what actually happens is it's fully activated and you just know it. Okay. That's a pretty common comment. And that's 4 days where you learn to use the work for creating the optimal legal, trading, and website and product and service names for spiritual entrepreneurs, for yourself, and for clients in general. Okay. And also we turn the language into plain English. So that's telling you want to work in the corporate world. We have actually turned it into plain English that people can understand, but it still has the actual meaning of what it's about. So.
Okay. And all the details about the dates and the dates of all 3 courses on the website, yeah?
Yeah, they are. Well, the next one, the next level 1 is 15th to the 19th of March. Okay.
So 12:45 to 8:30. Okay.
Yeah. So the reason we do that is because we teach from California out to Austria. Usually, sometimes we have people from South Africa and India and Australasia. But this is so that it basically is reasonable sort of hours for everybody. Okay. And we teach it using Zoom, which is what we're using now. And if you want to come in person, you can come to see me in Surrey. And some people are in the room, some people are actually online. Okay. So these are the time frames. So Sonia, where are you?
Montreal, Canada.
You use Central Time?
Yeah, I use Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so your time is 7:45 to 3:30.
Yes.
Okay. And Tina, if you're in Montana, that's probably Mountain Time.
In Montana is Central Time, I think. Okay,
oh, you're in Missouri. Yeah. So you're probably, I don't know, is that Central? That's probably the time here, 6:45 to 2:30. That means that Californians have to get out of bed at 4:45, which most people don't mind doing. It's better than flying. You see, people used to fly for the workshop. Okay. Tina, do you have any questions you want to put on the chat so I can answer them? Doesn't seem to be. No, she's okay, she says. So if you want to come along, the deposit is £229, about $288, depending on what Donald Trump's just said in the exchange rate. Okay. It changes.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, don't know. Depends what happens there. And the full fee is £616, about $770 and you can actually find out. You can register here at soulcontractreadingtraining.com. That takes you to the page on the website, and then just click on the right PayPal button. It'll probably be the first one, and then we'll have you on board, and Tiffany Langley, the training admin, will look after you from there and get it all organised. Okay.
And when is the next one? The level 2?
Level 2.
Is it kind of shortly afterwards, or in the autumn?
You need about at least 3 or 4 months of delivering readings.
Okay.
Before you do that. I'll find out the level 2 here.
Okay, but it's about 3-4 months after at least that you can, go to level 2, yeah?
Yeah, minimum. You have to do a lot of. You have to actually do at least 5 readings, preferably more.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to come to level 2, with a clear. You need to be able to say, here's the difference between each number. Here's what the essence of each number means, and you have to energetically have it in you. Because level 2 is a quantum leap in terms of understanding.
Okay.
So I can give you provisional dates for level 2. Got to find it here. Not set yet. Okay, they're not finalised. And I have to log into Google. No, that'll take too long. I'll let you know. Okay.
That's okay. I'll check it. I was just curious. How long?
Yeah, it'll probably be. It's probably going to be in autumn. Probably in November.
Okay.
All right. Depends on when I'm going to be should be coming to the States in October, but depends on finalising the workshop and speaking schedule. What I actually do there, but we should know. Amir and I are probably going to discuss it next week. The autumn schedule. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions from anybody?
Nicholas, you said it's live in Surrey. Does that mean that you're having people in your home, in your wherever you're having the?
Yeah, the live means it'll be sitting in. I teach in the workshop space at home, plus the global web conference will be simultaneously happening. Okay.
Right. What do you need to bring if we come to your home?
You need to bring a laptop. That's what
I really needed to know. Thank you.
Yeah, with a good camera and a good microphone. Or you can just do it from home. It's up to you. Because the reason we do that is because with Zoom, you will practice with each other. We'll break you up into virtual breakout rooms, both the live practitioners who are in person and those who are online. And so you get to practice giving readings on each other. So you go off into a virtual corner, just the 2 of you usually, or 3 if it's an odd number, and you'll practice, and you won't be able to hear anyone else because you'll leave the main webinar room, which is what you're in now, and then I will move around and come and check on how you're doing. You can put your hand up electronically, and I'll come and help you. I just basically move around all the practitioners, all the virtual rooms, checking that you're doing okay. And that's actually how we teach it. But normally you have about 12 people in a room. There's 6 pairs practicing, so it gets pretty noisy. Actually, you get a better experience in some ways because you don't have all the background. You can just focus on delivering, giving and receiving your readings. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that? No. Tina, any final questions? It seems to be okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time, people. Hopefully we can see you on the course. Just register and then we can take it from there. And yeah, enjoyed sharing that with you. Okay. And
Thank you, Nicholas.
I'll send the video out in the next couple of days, depending on how long it takes to sort of render and things like that. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, that was helpful, Tina. She said it was thank you, very informative. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.